A student has faked his own kidnapping during a Zoom class. A rapper has been arrested after bragging about unemployment fraud in his video. And a baby was named after an internet provider in exchange for free Wi Fi. These are the weird stories for Monday on Weird AF News. This is the only daily weird news podcast hosted by a comedian inside a closet. Yeah.
Hey, mainstream news! Listen to Weird AF News with Jonesy.
A high school student faked his own kidnapping during a Zoom class. A prank allegedly committed by a high school student during a Zoom class prompted school officials at Orchard High School in Gaithersburg, Maryland, to call the police. The student had his camera turned off at the beginning of the class. But when the student turned on the camera, his teacher was shocked to see another individual in a ski mask holding what appeared to be a gun. Oh boy, you brought a gun into the prank? This is very over the top, this prank. A little too much, I would say. There's no screenshot of the guy in the ski mask, so I don't know what we're dealing with here. Is it someone in a ski mask holding the gun up to the student's head? It doesn't say that. It just says the camera was turned on, someone with a ski mask has a gun. And by the way, I'm not familiar with how the Zoom classes work. Can the other students also see the video? Or is it only the teacher that can see this? Regardless, the teacher immediately removed the student from the online class and contacted school administrators. Officials called the police, who rushed over to the student's home right away. The police were able to determine that the student was in fact safe. The student said that the masked man was a friend he invited over, and that the weapon he was wielding was not a real gun, but an airsoft rifle. This is just dumb, man. It's so dumb. I mean, I love a good prank, but this is just, oof. The principal of the school no doubt had a heart attack and then was quoted as saying, "We appreciate the swift action of our teacher for reporting this incident." I mean, of course, what do you expect the teacher to do, Principal Elizabeth Thomas? I mean, the least that the teacher can do is report the incident. We were able to contact the family in the Montgomery County Police Department to conduct a welfare check, and, we're very pleased. Officials did not indicate if the unidentified student was actually punished for this serious prank. In a letter, the principal told parents that this incident serves as a reminder about the importance of speaking to your child about appropriate behavior while engaged in virtual learning. And yes, that's absolutely true, but I'd imagine a lot of these parents, they really can't be around and monitoring what's going on in these Zoom classroom situations. Parents have chores, they have to work. Can everybody just stay home with their kid as they're doing their online classes and learning from home? I don't know if that's possible. It's a tricky situation, something a lot of us are dealing with in this new environment, this pandemic schooling that we're dealing with. And also, it's important to keep in mind that you're always going to have pranksters. I was a prankster in school, as you can probably imagine. And, my parents very rarely found out about it because it only happened at school. And sometimes I would be caught and sometimes I wouldn't. And now that this is happening at home, you're going to get pranksters now doing it in the home schooling environment. What does that mean? Well, a lot of times it's going to be Zoom related. It's going to be technologically related. A close friend of mine is a teacher, and she's been doing it on Zoom, and she's told me there have been numerous occasions where students will prank the class somehow. They will insert the sound effects of a porn or some such thing. So this is what you have to deal with. Now, this student clearly went way over the top. I wouldn't go with the kidnapping and the gun. That's just me. I draw the line at the gun. But, yeah, there are going to be students that do this. Welcome to the Zoom Classroom 2020, guys. A rapper has been arrested after bragging about unemployment fraud in a music video. Los Angeles rapper Nuke Bizzle has been arrested on federal charges of stealing jobless benefits weeks after he released a song boasting about getting wealthy by doing this very same scheme: unemployment insurance fraud. Fontrell Antonio Baines, the 31-year-old rapper known as Nuke Bizzle, was arrested in Vegas and charged with access device fraud, aggravated identity theft, and interstate transportation of stolen property. Ooh, that's a lot of stuff going on here. Federal prosecutors said that Baines, aka Nuke Bizzle, a Memphis native residing in Hollywood Hills, fraudulently applied for more than $1.2 million in jobless benefits, including using stolen identities to do so. According to the warrant affidavit, Baines, aka Nuke Bizzle, boasted of his ability to defraud the California Employment Development Department in his music video that was recently released. The song is titled EDD. In this music video, Nuke Bizzle brags about doing, quote, my swagger for EDD. And then he holds up a stack of envelopes from EDD, revealing his plans to quote, go to the bank with a stack of these, presumably a reference to the prepaid debit cards that come in the mail for EDD. Here's another quote from Nuke Bizzle. I just got rich off of EDD. I just woke up to 300 G's. A second rapper in the video chimes in, you gotta sell cocaine, I just file a claim. Well, in defense of that second rapper, it's a lot better to just file a claim than sell cocaine, you know? Because eventually you sell that cocaine to kids, and that's not a good thing. A lot of rappers out there are bragging about slinging rocks back in the day to make it, and, you know, a lot of those rocks destroyed lives, so they make a good point. Hey, at least he's not selling cocaine. He's just filing a claim. One could argue this is a victimless crime, right? Certainly nonviolent. Baines, aka Nuke Bizzle, is accused of exploiting the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance provision of the CARES Act, which is designed to expand access to unemployment benefits to the self-employed and gig workers. Here's the problem with this Pandemic Unemployment Assistance and all of the stuff that falls under that umbrella is that you can clearly, easily fraud these people. I mean, I did the story about that guy in Florida that bought a boat with you know, the unemployment loan there, the PPE loan. I mean, there has been so many instances of these programs just getting fleeced by scammers. Apparently it's so easy. There was an article in Wired in May about Nigerian fraudsters ripping off the unemployment system here in the U.S. for upwards of $200 million. I mean, that's just ridiculous. This is how dumb my government is, that even they get completely fooled by Nigerian scams like they're 109-year-old grandparents or something. Ridiculous. It's so easy. Of course, Nuke Bizzle. Of course. Here's some details about what Nuke Bizzle did. Evidence gathered during his investigation established that at least 92 of these debit cards that had been preloaded with more than $1.2 million in fraudulently obtained benefits were mailed to addresses in California. Baines, aka Nuke Bizzle, and his conspirators allegedly accessed more than $700K of these benefits through cash withdrawals, including in Las Vegas, as well as purchases of merchandise and services. When Baines, aka Nuke Bizzle, was arrested, he possessed 8 EDD debit cards, 7 of which were in the names of other persons. And if convicted, Nuke Bizzle will face a maximum sentence of 22 years in federal prison. I mean, what do you expect from a guy named Nuke Bizzle? I mean, really? You know, old dirty bastard, it was known that although he was wealthy, was still somehow collecting welfare or food stamps or something. I mean, everybody knows that, right? You can't expect much more from someone named Nuke Bizzle. But this dummy goes and makes a music video about it, which is absolutely hilarious. I would love to play a piece of it because it's so bad that it's great. But, you know, because of copyright claims and whatnot. I mean, it's one thing to just rap about you doing it, like, as a piece of a song. His whole song is about scamming it. I mean, they show him on a laptop doing it in the video. They show the envelopes. I mean, it's all right there. You got to be really dumb to just put this out there. Like, clearly, you just got to play this video in court and he's done. 22 years. Bye-bye, Nuke Bizzle. I'm, listening to the song, I wanted to write down some of the lyrics for you, but I honestly, I cannot understand what he's saying. I mean, am I getting old? I just can't understand what these young rappers are saying. I mean, he's got a mouthful of gold and just doesn't articulate. This just seems to be the norm for new rap, it seems to me. And I want to try to glean something from Nuke Bizzle's music here, but I can't. There's a shout out to Trump in there. That's about all I can understand from this idiot. I implore you, watch the video. You don't have to listen to the lyrics, just watch it. It's mind blowingly bad. Yay! This is Christopher Walken for another weird walking fact. Did you know you're more likely to get a computer virus from visiting religious sites rather than porn sites? It's true. This is Christopher Walken with another weird walking fact. A couple have named their baby after an internet provider in exchange for 18 years of free Wi-Fi. Yes, the couple have named their newborn after an internet provider because they really wanted some free Wi-Fi. The girl has been called Twifia, 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 but her parents, aged 30 and 35, have chosen to remain anonymous. Of course, because you guys are idiots, and this is a form of child abuse to name your child after an internet provider, you idiots. Swiss internet provider Twifia, or Twiffy, has been advertising this offer on its website, stating that parents who name their little ones Twiffius or Twiffia will surf the web free of charge until their offspring becomes an adult. It says right on the website, simply upload a photo of your child's civil birth certificate. After verification, Twiffy will give you 18 years of free internet. I may be pronouncing that wrong. It might be Twi-Fi. I don't know. I don't know this company. This is a Swiss internet provider. The media reported that the parents who have used it as the girl's second middle name say they will put the money they would otherwise have spent on Wi-Fi into a savings account for their daughter. Oh, that's good because you're going to need to spend a lot of money on the therapy that you're going to have to provide for your daughter because of all the abuse that your daughter will have at school for being named after an internet provider because she has stupid parents. So that's good that you're putting aside some money for that. Here's a quote from the moronic father. The longer I thought about it, the more unique the name became for me. And that was when the thing got its charm. Although his wife admits to being hesitant at first, she said, for me, the name Twiffia also stands for connection in this context, for an eternal bond. I like it. There are much worse names, and the more often we say Twiffia, the heartier the name sounds. I don't know what kind of accent that was. I was just trying to give you guys some variety. It's not really Swiss. I don't even know. The couple have put the name on their daughter's birth certificate behind two other first names, but they say they have been left torn over the decision. We want to remain anonymous to those around us because we don't want to justify ourselves because the accusation of having sold our child's name hits us very hard. We are also a little bit ashamed. Yeah, you should be a little bit ashamed. You definitely are sucking at the teat of corporate, life on the ultimate level by basically making your newborn a billboard for some company. This is just ridiculous. I know life is hard. I know bills are difficult to grapple with right now. We're all struggling financially, but, have some integrity, okay? Don't name your child Best Buy or Costco. As hilarious as it is to name your child Nerd Ropes, just don't do it, all right? Jonesy, that's the second time you've referenced Nerd Ropes on this podcast. I know, because Nerd Ropes have a special place in my heart. Anybody else? It's not always easy to tell who's going to be a crappy parent or not, but one of the ways you can cut right through this bullshit is to just look at the birth certificates that are floating around out there, and you can tell right away if they've named their child, I don't know, Big Bird or Adolf or Snickers or something like that. I mean, right away you're dealing with some people that are just inappropriate. Completely inappropriate, and the child's going to have some struggles. It's going to be a lot of therapy in this child's future. It's going to be a lot of razzing and hazing going on. And I just feel terrible for these children. And I don't know what to do about it, but, you got any ideas? Call the show, 646-450-2012. Have any of you been a victim of idiotic parental decisions such as your name? I'd love to hear it. And lastly, what I'll say about this is this internet Twifia or Twi-Fi better be fast as shit. I mean, I want download speeds that are just mind-blowing, okay? You like podcasts? You're listening to my podcast. Maybe you thought to yourself, I'd like to make a podcast. Too difficult. No, not with Anchor. Anchor has free creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast from your phone or your computer. Anchor distributes your podcast to Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. They have advertising integration, so you can even make a little money off your podcast. Everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your creation. Good luck with your life, man. Hey guys, was that a treat or what? Another episode of Weird AF News in the books, making your Monday a lot more palatable. I hope you had a lovely weekend. I really do. And that's legit, all right? I'm not just blowing smoke up your tush, as they say. Okay? I hope you enjoyed the Florida Friday episode. I want to thank everybody who sent me Florida articles. It's so helpful. And there's so many. So I appreciate that. I want to give some love to someone who bought me some coffees off my website, weirdafnews.com, where you can go and click on Buy Jonesy a Coffee. Well, Ruby bought me coffees. And then Ruby, who's so lovely, decided to write me a nice note. It says, "Hey, Jonesy, I've been a listener for about 2 years. I never get tired of listening to Weird AF News. It was my most played podcast last year, and I'm sure you'll be right there this year. Keep being awesome, and thank you for being my #1 source for weird news. Love from NYC." And then she gave me a heart. Thank you, Ruby, from NYC. Oh, it doesn't say exactly where you live. I'm curious where Ruby lives in NYC. As you guys know, I lived in NYC for 10 years. I did 7 years. Like it's prison time. I did 7 years in Manhattan, specifically East Harlem. I was at 105th and 2nd for 7 years, and I was in Astoria, Queens for 3 years. Astoria was just a fabulous place, man, by the way. I love Astoria, Queens. My big shout out to Astoria, Queens. Any listeners in Astoria? Probably not. But Ruby, yeah, big time appreciation to you for buying me coffees off of my website, weirdafnews.com. It's just another way you can support the show, along with my Patreon, patreon.com/weirdafnews. We also have a review. Oh, yes. A Weird AF News got a review on Apple Podcasts by somebody named Stephalophagus. Stephalophagus gave me 5 stars and then wrote, "Florida man leaves 5-star review." Oh, Stephalophagus, I can't say this. Stephalophagus must be from Florida, which makes it all the more special. Considering I didn't know that Floridians knew how to leave reviews. Way to go! Way to work a Apple Podcast website. It says, "Because this product is amazing, love, 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 love." Oh, that's so sweet. Anyone from Florida that leaves me a positive review is like, it's really special to me, I have to say. I would love to save everybody in Florida. I'd love to get you guys all out of there. We should get a fundraiser together for the people in Florida that actually have brains and get them the hell out of there. Although, in a way, I'd like the people with the brains to kind of stay there, because maybe maybe good political decisions will be made this upcoming election if we got people with brains voting down there. But we won't get into politics, guys, will we? No, we're going to move along. Moving along. What else did I want to say? Oh, I got a nice, what was it? I got a nice message. It was a DM on Instagram by somebody named Joe Bell from North Carolina. Joe Bell wrote, "Hey, Jonesy, just wanted to say that I appreciate you and your podcasts. Been listening for probably more than 2 years." Man, 2 years. Way to go, Joe Bell. You didn't have to listen for that long. And it says, "I used to play your podcast after I listened to some news briefing, that depressing stuff. So after all that shit, I'd end my routine with your podcast to brighten up my mood. I even force other people to listen to your podcast because why not? The other day I was in a really bad mood and decided to listen to a random episode. Well, I didn't notice it. It was the podcast of the day, and man, my mood just changed. It was the podcast about banning karaoke in Manila, Philippines. Coincidentally, I was born there. And yes, karaoke is a big thing there, especially when there's occasions. You can easily rent big karaoke machines for yourself. Guess the pandemic is just affecting the job market, but hey, at least we're still smiling and we're singing. Hope you continue this podcast from your closet. Stay weird. Joe Bell from North Carolina. What an amazing message, right? This long message. Unsolicited. Super appreciative. Thank you, Joe Bell, for not only being a loyal listener to Weird AF News for 2 years. 2 years? I mean, that's incredible. But also for taking the time to write a nice message, which totally cheered me up yesterday. Just totally made my day, so I appreciate that. You guys can drop me a message like that anytime on Instagram by following me at Funny Jones, and then you can just hit me up with a DM. I usually respond to my fans. Fans? It's weird to say fans. You know, my listeners. So yeah, check that out at Funny Jones. Join my Patreon. Patreon.com/WeirdAFNews. Support the show that way, and then you can get access to some weird stuff. Like, I'm talking like really weird stuff, you know what I'm saying? And you can feel good about supporting a 5-day-a-week podcast, which is, there's not a lot out there, you know? There really isn't. I mean, and the ones that are huge conglomerates. They're like these huge, like NPR. They got like a staff of how many employees, you know? This is just me in a closet, all right? So support the show if you can, any way you can do it. If you can't do it with your wallet, which is no problem, then do it by leaving a review on either iTunes or Amazon, or telling a friend about Weird AF News, just like Joe Bell did. Joe Bell does that, and that's a great way to support the show, by spreading it around. And so anything you can do is much appreciative. And I love you guys, as always. I will see you tomorrow.
Jonesy, you rock and roller, what's shaking, brother? Hey, big fan of the show. Somebody told me about your show. I have a Alexa Amazon thing, and it told me your show. Listen, man, you can always hit Blue Oyster Code up. Good friends with them, and they have their own homepage, website. And I'm sure they would be more than happy if you decided to play that Florida Man song. Pretty cool. Hopefully you're doing good. And if you're ever in Cleveland, I'll definitely have to buy you a cup of coffee, brother. You take care and you rock on, and keep the good work up, man. It's got to be tough being in a closet and doing your work. But you hang in there. Props to you, brother. We'll talk to you later. Take care, Jonesy. Bye-bye.
It's Friday, I'm in Florida. I can't do the voice like you can, but it's like, Mondays, and I don't know the words, but like, if you did a Florida Fridays theme using your Robert Smith voice, whoa, it would be amazing! Please do it, please do it, please do it!
I like big butts and I cannot lie, but if you get one from Jag Booty, you just might die.